What's up everyone, Geo here. So, this video is going to be quite different than what you typically see here on my channel. Um, if you're following me for a little while now, you know I travel quite a bit and I really enjoy bringing you those types of videos. But today I want to get real with you for just a minute because life is not always full of happiness and full of joy and full of amazing things going on in our lives. Sometimes life throws you an incredible curveball, and that happened to me just a couple days ago. Specifically, happened to me on Christmas morning. Um, so I was in Costa Rica. Juan Carlos and I had celebrated on Christmas Eve with his family. Had an amazing, amazing night. I cooked a big Christmas Eve dinner. The family came over. We went to bed, and early in the morning, I heard my phone buzzing on the nightstand, and I glanced over at it, half asleep, and had noticed it was one of my sisters trying to contact me. And I sort of ignored. I did. I ignored it. I was like, "Oh, it's Christmas. They're a time difference. They're getting in touch with me. I'll call them back." And then a few minutes later, Juan Carlos's phone started buzzing, and he woke me back up and he said, "Hey, it's your sister trying to call." And again, my response to him was, "Oh, they're just in the morning. It's Christmas morning. They're trying to call us. We'll get up and have coffee, and we'll call them." And so we woke up, and I grabbed my cell phone and I started looking at it. And immediately I noticed that I had a text message from my dad and a text message from my sister Shannon saying, "Hey, contact me." And I looked at Juan Carlos and I knew immediately something was not right. They wouldn't leave that kind of message. And so I called my sister's phone, and my father answered and delivered the news to me that my dear, dear sister Jennifer um, had passed away early Christmas morning at about 6 a.m. To get that kind of news is just mind boggling. Um, to say I'm devastated would be an understatement. To say I'm sad would be an understatement. All of those emotions. To say I'm angry, I'm mad, I'm confused. That's what happens when you lose somebody you love. My sister Jennifer is an amazing, amazing human being. She's had a challenged life, I would say, but she's had a life filled with love. She's got four beautiful, beautiful children. She's got grandchildren. She's only 45 years old. I remember when she called me and told me that her oldest son was having a baby. I was like, "You are way too young to be a grandma," and we sort of laughed about that. And but the conversations that she and I would have over the years were always filled um, with laughter and with joy. Uh, and the rare occasions that we actually got to see each other in our adult lives, we always embraced each other with a huge hug and a big smile. And inevitably, we would reminisce about things that happened in our childhood. Not quite sure what it is, but when you get together with your siblings as an adult, there seems to be those moments that happen where you all just sort of revert back to your childhood years and you start sharing and telling stories and laughing and arguing and all of the things that siblings do. I'm the oldest of six, and I've got four amazing sisters and one brother. Um, and now, unfortunately, there's only five of us. And why am I doing this video? Well, this is sort of cathartic for me, I think. I've been sort of moping around for the last couple days, and we've had a group chat going back and forth with my siblings and sharing photos and sharing memories and crying and laughing and crying some more. Um, and I think it's important to share with all of you that that's what happens. That's what we do. Family comes together. My sister lived in or lives in her family are out in South Dakota, which is quite far away. I'm in Florida and in Costa Rica, and my other siblings live, two of them in New York and two of them in Savannah, Georgia. So we're all pretty spread out, and we don't get a chance to see each other very often. As a matter of fact, the last time I physically got to see my sister Jennifer was at my grandfather's 90th birthday, which was shortly before he passed away. Um, and it's crazy to think that it's been that long. But I also had an opportunity to just speak with her in the last couple weeks on the phone in one of those great conversations where we shared with each other, and I gave her some of my big brother advice, as I often did, um, and she would laugh, um, and we talked about many things, and I'm grateful that I had that opportunity to have that conversation with her. But what I'm most grateful for is the fact that with every one of my siblings, regardless of what's happening in our lives, regardless of how long it may have been between conversations or between seeing each other, that when we do get a chance to talk or we do get a chance to see each other, we always tell each other we love each other. And for that, I'm eternally grateful because I do not have any sadness related to anything left unsaid with my sister. She went knowing that I loved her, and I know that she loved me. So I share that with you because I think it's important that sometimes we, with our families, especially as we become adults, that we forget to say those things. So I encourage you, if you're watching this video, reach out to your loved ones, reach out to your family if they're around, and make sure you tell them that you love them. And share those funny stories or those anecdotal moments or whatever. I was actually just on the phone with my mother a little while ago. Can imagine how she's handling this, both her and my father. Neither one of them ever expected that they would have to say goodbye to one of their children before they passed away. And they're dealing with it in their own way. But my mom and I just had a pretty fun laugh. I was talking about the fact that my niece had called me last night and asked me to do a eulogy at her funeral, which is coming up this week. And that's a daunting task, but I'm proud and I'm honored to do that. And I reached out to my other siblings and asked them to share some anecdotal stories or some thoughts. And we were kind of going back and forth in our group chat about some stories. And there's one particular memory that I want to share with all of you that just basically sums up my sister. My sister never knew a stranger. Ever since she was, as soon as she could speak, she had no qualms about walking up to a stranger in public and just talking to them, or reaching out to them and giving them a hug, or just wandering off on her own. She certainly always beat to her own drum. And that's one of the things that made her an incredible human being. And there was a particular time we were on a family trip back in 1975, and she was just somewhere between the ages of 2 and 3. And we stopped at this little amusement park that I believe was out in Colorado, and it was called the North Pole. It was a place where you could see Santa Claus, and sort of poignant that I'm telling this story. But we were all at that amusement park, and the entire family, we were all focused on something. And we turn around and we're like, where's Jennifer? Oh my God, Jennifer's missing. Where the heck is she? And immediately panic went across my parents' faces, and my sister Shannon and I were like, where is she? And we're all like running around crazy trying to find her. And the next thing you know, we finally do find her. And she's standing at a water fountain that is shaped like an animal of some kind. And she's talking to it. She's just carrying on a conversation without a care in the world and talking to this water fountain. And that memory to me is sort of what reminds me the most about Jennifer. That it didn't matter what was going on in her world. If she saw something or she was interested in it, she could go into her own little world and just make up a conversation with an inanimate object like she did with a water fountain. Or on that same trip, we were at a old west town, and they were actually filming either a TV show or a movie, and there was some actor. His name was Petricelli, I believe, and somebody that my mother was like fascinated with. And my mother was trying to encourage me to go over and say hello to him because she was too embarrassed to do it. And of course, I wouldn't do it. But the next thing you know, there's little Jennifer pushing her way through the crowd, tugging on his shirt tail and pointing at my mother, and in her childlike voice saying, "Hey, my mom wants to meet you." That was Jennifer. She never knew a stranger. And from what I understand, and based on the outpouring of love that I see on social media from all of the people that she's impacted over the years, friends she went to school with, all of the people in her church community in South Dakota, the outpouring of love, and the fact that my sister regardless of what was going on in her life, regardless of the challenges that she was facing, was always, always there for others and always willing to lend an ear or give them a hug or share part of her heart. And as you all know, my mantra in life is what? Happiness is a lifestyle. And even though I'm a little sad right now, I'm deeply, deeply happy that my sister had such a profound impact on so many people's lives throughout her short lived 45 years on this earth. And the fact that she passed away on Christmas Day, I'm not going to take that as a sad thing, and that's not going to change the joy I have of Christmas. But in fact, I think it's going to enhance Christmases for my entire family to come, because we know that heaven above gained an incredible angel the morning of Christmas, and what a more special time to pass or to go to heaven if you believe in that. Anyway, so that's about all I have to say. I just wanted to share with you a little bit of this piece of my life. Um, Although it is a sad time, as I said, happiness is a lifestyle, and I'm going to choose to focus on the happy times that I had with my amazing sister. And in the coming week, as we all gather in South Dakota to say our goodbyes to her, I'm eternally grateful for every single moment I ever had with her. So, as I always say, peace out, everyone, and thanks for watching, and please go give a loved one a hug and let them know you love them. Ciao for now. Bye.